A rejuvenated Manchester United. They take on a Burnley side 9 points from safety without a win in 11 Premier League matches.
I watched the great Martin Chivers before I became a pro. He was an amazing watch, like a Rolls Royce. So smooth in his movement, excellent in the air, and a great finisher. And on top of all of that, he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, and I think, many of the following generations of Tottenham fans will know him well because he was such a familiar face at White Hart Lane, going back to Tottenham because he would go there and he'd be there on match days in a sort of ambassadorial role. So you would see him a lot. I have to say, I remember him really as a regular voice as a summariser on BBC Radio. But I was thinking back today, it was probably the 60s and the 70s because of the way that the media developed then, that footballers really became stars in the media. And that was when Martin Chivers enjoyed the best years of his footballing career in the late 60s and the early 70s. He was one of the leading names of the English game at that time. And so I think that those of a certain age will remember him very fondly, and certainly Tottenham fans remembering some of the extraordinary goal-scoring seasons that he had when he moved from Southampton, where he had a pretty good record at Southampton as well. And we should underline, he was the most expensive footballer in Britain when he moved from Southampton to Tottenham in 1968 for £125,000. But his goal scoring was terrific. And that Tottenham list, when you think it's Harry Kane, Jimmy Greaves, Bobby Smith, then it's Martin Chivers with Son Heung-min just behind him.
That is some list, isn't it? And I suppose the other thing as well, which I have to confess I didn't know at all, was just how good his goal record was for England as well. In actually not a huge number of appearances.
Well, he had a sensational start in 1971. Remember, that was when Sir Alf Ramsey was the manager. He scored 7 goals in his first 8 appearances for England, scored a couple of goals against Scotland in a home international at Wembley in that time. But yeah, there were only 24 caps. And actually, his last cap was the infamous defeat against Poland at Wembley in 1973. When England failed to make it to the World Cup in 1974. So as a result, he didn't play at the World Cup. He didn't go to the World Cup with England. He missed out on that.
John, thank you very much. Our football correspondent John Murray on the news that Martin Chivers, the Spurs and England striker, has died at the age of 80. Some more sad news this evening. Kevin Keegan's family have announced that the former England manager has been diagnosed with cancer. They released this statement earlier this evening. Kevin was recently admitted to hospital for further evaluation of ongoing abdominal symptoms. These investigations have revealed a diagnosis of cancer for which Kevin will undergo treatment. Kevin is grateful to the medical team for their intervention and ongoing care. And during this difficult time, the family are requesting privacy and will be making no further comment. We, of course, wish Kevin well, and I'm sure there will be plenty of well-wishers at a club where he is an absolute icon, and that is Newcastle. They are at home this evening to Leeds, who are unbeaten in their last 7, and Ailey Barber will keep us updated.
Hi, Joe.
Ailey?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey.
Sorry, somebody spoke in my ear just as you were coming to me.
I think they were called Joe, I would have guessed. But
Joe.
there we are. We heard that bit.
Apologies for that, yeah. A really intriguing one this, actually, tonight. Newcastle unbeaten in their last 11 matches here at St James's Park, taking on a Leeds team who, like you say, unbeaten in their last 7. And given they've played Liverpool twice, Chelsea and Manchester United in that run, it is hugely impressive. In terms of team news,
Verbruggen's definitely in goal.
Yes,
I can
indeed.
guarantee that. So we've got Duncan Van Hecker as the centre-back. Certainly it'll be given, Eric.
Yeah, I think the reason why it possibly will be given is because it might step into the path he's running, Docker, and stops the movement towards goal. Obviously, it's not going for the ball. And then that's also... The ball is gone past Gomez already. So
of course, he'll have to wait 10 minutes before he makes a decision.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this will be given.
Yeah, Thomas Bramwell is just blowing his whistle at the moment and is going to speak on his microphone as to what is going to be given. And I will be amazed if this is not given as a penalty now.
This microphone, I really don't agree with.
No.
And, if I was at a stand, I just want penalty given.
He's
given it.
He's pointed to the spot. And to be honest with you, not only do I not think it's a penalty, I think it's going to be harsh on Brighton to be behind at half-time if that's the case. I think Arsenal will be watching on now What we all like to see.
Indeed, yes.
To the goalkeeper's left, his right-hand side, and Erling Haaland, he's barely had an opportunity or a touch of the ball in this half, but he has put Manchester City in front, and has to be said, Eric, it's against the run of play, really.
It is. It's against the run of chances. And to be fair to Haaland, he took it very quickly, a lot quicker than I thought. So I didn't manage to pass it over to you before.
No, that's fine.
So, it's one of those penalties. If the goalkeeper goes the right way, he might save it. So, 1-0, and Haaland's goal drought is over. 3 games without a goal before today. So
I think he'd heard Igor Thiago scored again.
Yes.
He's decided that he's going to need to get another one. So, success for Haaland from the penalty spot. Manchester City lead by 1-0. And there'll be huge sighs of relief all around the Etihad. But I tell you now, this game is not over yet by a long chalk, because they do not look comfortable at the back. And I do think that there will be chances for Brighton. It's just going to not fall another goal behind before half-time as Verbruggen calmly plays it to Dunk. Van Hecke just gets there ahead of Doku and keeps the move going. Away down the right-hand side now with Hinshelwood. Hinshelwood's still going. He's run 50 yards here until Ake gets across, and then he plays it off the legs of Reinders, and it'll be a Brighton throw-in. Kadioglu with a long throw down the line. Elaine does well to read it and get there ahead of Ruter, and it'll be another Brighton throw-in down by the corner flag. You wouldn't rule it out that Brighton come back on the other end and equalise here now.
No, it's the same scenario as the earlier game this season at the Amex when Brighton went behind and they won 2-1. And they do have obviously Danny Welbeck and Gruda on the bench.
Yes.
There are more out-and-out goal scorers than number 9. So because they are playing without a number 9 at the moment.
Pretty much, yeah.
So. Maybe they'll change that. It has actually worked, the tactic, because if they convert to the chances, they would be winning.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. They should be winning, in all honesty, because they haven't taken the chances, and they were really good chances, as Ake has the ball to take the throw-in for City on the far side, 25 yards from his own goal. Ake looking for some movement. Nobody's moving for him at all. He has to throw it up towards Haaland, who heads it inside, headed on by Reinders, but Dunk will mop up. And here's Matoma, back inside the centre circle now to De Kuyper. And then back by Gomez, who probably trying to get his head screwed back on after that penalty. Trying to concentrate fully and get over that and get back to trying to break down Manchester City. As Verbruggen has it now inside his penalty area. He's trying to lure City in, but eventually just decides to hit it long downfield towards Matoma. Well read. Haaland stepped up to score from the spot. Before then, Brighton had numerous clear-cut opportunities. Gross's header saved well. Both Kadioglu and Ruter went through on goal and should have done better. And just before half-time, nearly 2-0 to City when Reinders' shot was cleared off the line by Hinshelwood. 1-0 to the host at the break. Half-time at the Etihad, Manchester City 1, Brighton 0. The goal coming 4 minutes before half-time when Gomez was adjudged to have fouled Doku in the penalty area. It looked harsh, but Erling Haaland stepped up to score from the spot. Before then, Brighton had numerous clear-cut opportunities. Gross's header saved well. Both Kadioglu and Ruter. As the ball is played over the top here for Brighton, headed away well on the stretch by Kuzanov. And then Nunez couldn't keep the ball in play, so it's gone out for what will be a throw-in on the far side, taken by De Kuyper in towards Ruter. Ruter tries to play the ball forward, headed away well by Kuzanov, but Brighton will pick up the pieces on halfway again with Lewis Dunk. Dunk into Pascal Gross, back to Dunk again. His ball through the middle is to nobody in particular. It's going to go all the way through to Donnarumma. I know we were having a chat earlier about Pascal Gross and the difficult time he'd had at Dortmund. I just wonder whether he's going to be able to last the whole 90 minutes on his return tonight. Yeah,
obviously I haven't played a game since long before Christmas, when the Christmas break in the Bundesliga, I think it was about 13th of December, and he hasn't played much this season for Dortmund. He's featured 11 times in the Bundesliga, very often as a substitute. Although last season he was featuring, I think, almost every Bundesliga game he was playing for Dortmund, but he didn't fit into the Dortmund, fast-flowing Dortmund side. They like to get with Adeyemi and the fast players to go forward.
Yeah.
So
break off here because Brighton are coming forward with Ayari, who switches the play to the far side. Here's Matoma on the edge of the penalty area. Karim Matoma with a shot, and he's squeezing it into the far corner. And wouldn't you just know it? Brighton have been second best in the second half, but when they have been given a chance, they've taken it. And Matoma has curled a beauty into the far corner. past Donnarumma. It's Manchester City 1, Brighton 1. And where has this come from?
I've come from absolutely nowhere. I think it's a 50-50 out of the box. Ayari managed to win the ball in the midfielder. He just advances up towards the penalty area and just side-footed towards Mitoma in the end. And it's a good ball from Ayari. And Mitoma, it's a disguised shot. Should Donnarumma do better? Donnarumma is running towards the referee because he thinks 3 players stood in offside position ahead of him. He might be right, but I don't think they'll VAR get involved with that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they're having any impact on him as Mitoma cuts inside and he curls it through the legs of Nico Gonzalez. I have to say, I don't think Donnarumma has got hope in heck as that goes through a crowd of bodies. He just can't see it in time. It's a great finish from Mitoma.
It's a fantastic. It's a placed finish. It's not one of those shots. He knows what he's doing, and through the legs of the defender. Donnarumma is unsighted till the ball is at the 6-yard box. He can't do anything. So and then he runs. Obviously, there were a couple of players stood offside, but they're not interfering with play. His vision is not interfered with.
VAR are looking at it. Donnarumma's been carded for complaining to the referee
for the 5th time. So,
but there's no way they can rule this out. De Kuyper.
It was Pascal Gross in the first half.
It was Pascal Gross. De Kuyper's been yellow carded now as well. I'm not sure what for, whether it was something in the build-up or something he said. But Donnarumma has been yellow carded. They're looking at this VAR just to make sure that everything's right before the kick-off is taken. I'm not sure what they're looking at. It can 1 Brighton 1 in the 8:15 games. It's half time in those 2 matches. Burnley 1 by Brighton, who get it clear over on the far side. There might have been late drama at the Vitality Stadium. We'll bring you news of that very shortly. It's back with Bernardo Silva on halfway. And now it comes into a central position and Nico O'Reilly. Back in field to Rodri. Now on towards Reinders. Reinders now on the edge of the penalty area. Will play it wide towards Doku. Doku back to Reinders inside the penalty area. He got a little nick from Kadioglu and it was enough for Brighton to get a foot in and get it clear. As Gruder now plays it off the legs of O'Reilly. That, Eric, might well be it.
Yeah, and now Kadioglu, which is actually my player of the match, he's going forward now.
He is indeed. Yeah. He's broken away down the right-hand side. Nico O'Reilly has had to chase him back and has knocked the ball out of play for a corner kick. And maybe one last chance for Brighton to nick this. It might be that Bournemouth have just nicked all 3 points. They've scored in stoppage time through Antoine Semenyo. Would you just believe it? In his final game for Bournemouth before he moves on to Manchester City, he might have got them all 3 points. Corner kick for Brighton. Can they put more gloom on the evening for City and more joy for Arsenal, who'll be watching on, I'm sure. They've seen Villa held at Palace. Manchester United have just equalised at Burnley, 1-1 at Turf Moor in the 8:15 kick-off. What have Brighton got left here? Can they cause a huge upset and bag their first win at the Etihad Stadium? Donnarumma pushing into the back of Van Hecke. He's got to be careful here. The referee will be keeping a close eye on events inside the 6-yard box. Here comes the corner, in towards the near post, headed away by Haaland. It's only going to be as far as Gruder, but the referee decides that is enough, and that is the end of the game. The share of the spoils between these two. It's been a highly entertaining game. Guardiola and Hürzeler exchanging words at the end. I don't think it's all pleasantries in all honesty, but it has been one heck of a game, and Brighton, through a 60th minute curling shot from Kaoru Mitoma, have managed to grab a share of the spoils and dent Manchester City's title hopes. It's finished Manchester City 1, Brighton 1.